Jacques Brel. And Jacques Brel, La Fanette. This is brought in by Cosmic. No doubt for someone else, though. Unless it is Cosmic. Singer from Brussels. Cool. Belgian singer.
Nous étions deux amis et Fanette m'aimait. La plage était déserte et dormait sous juillet. Si elles s'en souviennent, les vagues vous diront combien pour la Fanette j'ai chanté de chansons. Faut dire qu'elle était belle comme une perle d'eau. Faut dire qu'elle était belle et je ne suis pas beau. Faut dire qu'elle était brune tant la dune était blonde et tenant l'autre et l'une. Moi, je tenais le monde. Faut dire que j'étais fou de croire à tout cela. Je le croyais à nous, je la croyais à moi. Faut dire qu'on ne nous apprend pas à se méfier de tout.
Amazing vocal smoothness while still expressing things with very intense emotion. I love chanson, French song, because of how emotive yet very cleanly legato the language is. You know, emphasis in French, the way you emphasize is not through either, length of phrasing. It's more through the use of language, not length of the language, but the way that the vowel works, right? It's so, in Italian we lengthen something to stress it. And that's in context of like a recitativo. But if you're speaking Italian, you lengthen something to express it. And in English, we increase the volume of something and we increase the intensity of consonants. The same thing in German. But French is so ephemeral, right? So if Italian singing is red wine, German singing is beer, American singing is also beer, but more like light beer, then French singing has to be like champagne. Like it's like effervescent. And yet you still have these incredibly rich emotions in Jacques' singing. He looks pretty nervous. He's very sweaty. But what's beautiful is that the longing in the subject of this song and the poetry is so... Yeah, I guess there are some whiskey singers with English as well. There's something, the longing in his sound, it's almost like he just left this situation and walked right on stage. That's what his singing sounds like. It's so natural. It's like he's just telling a story. And the language just flows. And the vocalism is just released and resonant, very lovely. And the intensity is there. This is a real life singer. It reminds me, not just because it's also French, but Lara Fabian's Je suis malade, right? It's another example of a situation that's being described, beautifully uninhibited by the language, And the sound is reflective of that, right? Oh, take it easy, Cosmic. It's good to see you, as always.
Nous étions deux amis et Fanette m'aimait. La plage était déserte et mentait sous juillet. Si elles s'en souviennent, les vagues vous diront comment pour la Fanette s'arrêta la chanson. Faut dire qu'en sortant d'une vague mourante, je les vis s'en allant comme amant et amante.
He's like a film actor when he sings this. If someone told me this was like post-recording, I would believe it. Like the video is recorded after the audio. But on the other hand, it's so clearly a live performance. Ah, that makes sense, Cray. Yeah. I mean, he's a fantastic actor. He's not overdoing anything. He's not, in the same way that French language is not about overstressing things, the, acting and the emotives of this, the way he's approaching it is not overdoing anything. It's very well paralleled with it. Jay Waller, I have not listened to Protest the Hero. It might be hot, and he also might be, nervous. That's a real thing. He probably wouldn't have used like makeup for that.
Faut dire qu'ils ont ri quand ils m'ont vu pleurer. Faut dire qu'ils ont chanté quand
no AC.
Je les ai maudits. Faut dire que c'est bien ce jour-là qu'ils ont nagé si loin, qu'ils ont nagé si bien qu'on ne les revit pas. Faut dire qu'on ne nous apprend pas. Mais parlons d'autre chose. Nous étions deux amis et Fanette l'aimait. Et la plage est déserte et pleure sous juillet.
The beach is a desert that weeps in July. What a line.
Le soir, quelquefois, quand les vagues s'arrêtent, j'entends comme une voix. J'entends, c'est la Fanette.
It's so French. Thank you, Philo. He threw up after performances, stage fright. So I would say that most singers have stage fright. We've had this conversation before, right? And that most singers have a degree. It's unnatural to not have stage fright. Most singers have degrees of stage fright. People deal with it in different ways. And now, Craig, this reminds me of, when we were listening to Bruce and I was talking about breath support and I mentioned my singing earlier on stream and how I wasn't supporting enough. That self-deprecation, self-criticism is one of my coping mechanisms to deal with, stage fright when singing. And I think, it's become one of my greatest ways to improve because it constantly reminds me of what I can do differently next time. And the same thing is true with many, many singers the greatest singers are so intensely conscious that they're shaken with stage fright. But the need to perform brings them back again and again. The need to express a story, right?